Hello, hello, hello. It's me again. Lucky you, huh? Lucky you. It's Friday, so I'm gonna mix it up. Um, this this is gonna be about Star Wars and Kiss. Yes, clickbait perhaps, maybe, but Star Wars and Kiss actually changed my life. It was what the who? When I was a kid, I was born in '71, so I was primed for all that. And it actually helped me develop my, talent and confidence. Matter of fact, I'm wearing my old school Star Wars shirt now. Then underneath that, I have my Mandalorian shirt. Can you guys see that? Anywho, my Mandalorian shirt, my Star Wars. Like, geeking out. Uh, but let's start with Kiss though. Even though I put Star Wars and Kiss anyway. Kiss was to this day one of my favorite bands. Like in my mind, they can do no wrong. I mean, I know that there's multiple camps of Kiss. The original, this side of it. No, I don't. I anything Kiss can, you know, lip sync it up, if you will. I don't care. I love Kiss. I was primed again. I was born in '71, and I didn't remember how I found Kiss. It was my mother who said that I was like 3 or 4, like a kid, a little kid, maybe. And I love music. They were always watching like American Bandstand, and my dad loved Soul Train and Midnight Express or Midnight Special, whatever those shows were. Like Saturday night concerts. And I saw Kiss, I think, on the Midnight Special. Um, and my mom was like, I was freaking out. I was like 3 or 4 years old, and like that was the first time they saw me, like and I just love the whole thing, the makeup and the choreography and the outfits, and I love the music too. To this day, unfortunately, I know like every Kiss lyric. Not the older albums, not like once they get in the '80s, but some of the '80s. Matter of fact, my first major concert was Kiss. I saw Kiss and Wasp opened up. And again, unfortunately for me, it was on the Asylum tour, which, hey, cool. But I mean, that's one of the, look up how they looked in Asylum tour. Yeah, you'll laugh for 2 weeks. And then Wasp was great too. I mean, and I caught a from Blackie Lawless from Wasp. They had a drumsticks and then a big like a door poster wrapped around it with like rubber bands, and he was throwing them out. And this was at the Kiel Auditorium in St. Louis, like in '86, maybe 85, '86. And all these people, and I just remember holding my hand out, and I caught it. But when I brought it down, like there was the poster was ripped all to shreds, but I got the drumstick and like a little bit of the poster. But yeah, and I think my first Kiss album was Dressed to Kill. And I know that when I wanted Hotter Than Hell, my mom was like, no, you can't, you're 4 or 5 years old, whatever, you can't do. And then Kiss Alive. Oh my god, dude, that to me changed my world and worlds. I love that album. The artwork and all the little letters to the fans and all the stuff that was in it, and love, love, love it. And then Kiss Alive 2. Are you kidding me? I I stared at that album. I would just like, it was a double fold. I was just like, oh, so my kids, I want to. Amazing album. Even the tracks, like at the end, like the studio tracks. I love that. I love that, man. One of my favorite albums, both those two. As a matter of fact, all the Kiss albums are uh, some of my favorites. But on Kiss Alive too, like Any Way You Want It, the Dave Clark 5 cover. Again, that got me into, hey, what's this song? And it's like, that's Dave Clark 5. And then who's Dave Clark 5? And then you discover another band. I also discovered like the Dolls, the New York Dolls, which I'll do a thing about that. But yeah, Kiss, uh, I would just draw their faces, and I wanted a guitar, an air guitar, and I actually got there was a cheap plastic. I mean, it was only like that big or that long. Kiss radio, you name it. Kiss bed sheets. My parents were pretty cool. Well, actually, my dad didn't like Kiss and didn't think I should. But my mom was like, it's like theater. It's like, watching the vampire movie or, Frankenstein. It isn't, the mummy. It isn't real. It's an act. So I got lucky and then everybody in the neighborhood at the time I was living in Florida as a kid, and we all kind of became friends. How we became friends or grew, there was a group. Hey, you and the kids? Yeah, boom, boom, on our bikes, riding around. What do you have? Like, what kind of Kiss stuff do you have? Do you have? Oh my god! And there were these stores you used to go to where you pick a T-shirt and then you pick a like a logo, and then you can like iron it on a shirt. And I remember there was Kiss, and I think this is the one we had to take home anyway, or maybe I did in the store, but I messed it up. Like it was all kind of smeared a bit. I didn't care. Kiss. I wore that shirt till it probably fell off. I also remember going to 7-Eleven, and we were little. We like snuck, rode our bikes to like the 7-Eleven, which honestly wasn't that far away, 4 or 5 blocks. When you were a kid, though, it's like and the reason we went because they had Kiss like Slurpee cups. So we wanted to get there and get our Slurpee cups. And when we got there, all they had was Peter Chris, which is cool, hey. But I wanted I wanted them all. I want at least Gene Sim, Ace Frehley. Yeah, this Peter Chris. And that would become a thing. Like you're looking for the dolls back in that. There'd be Peter Chris's. I love Peter, and I think Beth is one of the best like ballads, especially a hard rock ballad, hair band. Are they even a hair band? Did they start all that stuff? I don't know. But yeah, Kiss. And Gene Sim again, people make fun of Kiss and this, that, and the other, but man, think about it. And putting on that makeup and all those outfits and prancing around, like that's tough. I mean, just with me, with my I can barely show it with what I have on, the aggravation of that. What if you want to take a nap or you have to go to the bathroom? Like this thing, Gene Simmons has to go to the bathroom, or any of them. I got to take up my coffee piece, and then I'm sure they had to design it that way. Like, hey, we need it quick and off because you're on the road like that. I don't care how many nice jets and hotel, man, you're still on the road and you're still performing like I don't know how many hours a night. And I actually have a funny Kiss story. It's actually a Paul Stanley. Was in Hollywood, and it was the House of Blues used to be on Sunset. Cool. It looked all funky and it was big, kind of like a New Orleans kind of shack, but a big one. And above that, there was a private club. I think it was called the Foundation Room. I might be wrong on that. But anyway, you had to be a member, and the entrance was around the back. There's like a parking lot in the back, and then there was like a little entrance to this upstairs, like exclusive. I heard that it was a lot of money a year. Somebody said it was like 50,000 a year to be. I don't know. But a friend of mine was doing a solo gig, and so he put me on the list. And so I was going to go. Like, yeah, man, I'm going. I've never been there, of course. And I get in line, and I'm like the only, like, probably unknown. I mean, there's people, you know what I mean? There's security, and there's cops, and there's like bouncers, and this, that, and you have to go through, and they're like metal detecting. Long story short, so I heard the voice. Like, I know that voice. I turn around, it's Paul Stanley. Paul Stanley, and of course, they're not made up or anything. Paul Stanley and the drummer they have now, Eric Singer. And they're just in line, just like everybody else. They didn't cut in line. They say, "Excuse me, I'm here." No, they're just waiting in line. And I was like, should I say something, man? Should I turn around? Like, should I? No, you don't want to be a fanboy. Make it happen naturally. Just like kind of soak it up. Listen to what he's saying. And they're just like, hey, yeah, go out tonight. And I can't get so I can't get into a lot of the legalities of what happened, but I got into loggerheads, let's just say, with some of the security and the bouncers when they were frisking metal detect whatever. It kind of was on. Like next thing I know, I was against the wall and I was kind of getting beat up. But the cops came over. The cops were standing like, hey, whoa, 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 no. And sure enough, I was in the right. But I remember looking at Paul Stanley, like they let him go, and I was standing there, and he was like 3 or 4 feet away. And he looked at me just like, oh man, what a loser. And I was thinking, what did I do? Obviously, the cops are, obviously you saw what happened. I didn't do anything. In Hollywood, sometimes like that stuff will just pop off. Shit will pop off. Man, it's gone. Just hey. So, but so yeah, by Paul Stanley, I was like, oh my, there goes but the cops were like, hey, you got to let this guy in. Matter of fact, you can't. He's on you got to let him in. And they did, but they had a security guy with me, and but anyway, yeah, Paul Stanley. I mean, I guess I wouldn't either. He didn't know who I am. He ain't gonna want any trouble. Especially this is like a private. He didn't know who I was. Yeah, he shook his head like, oh, dude. Another wah, 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 wah. But nonetheless, I love Paul Stanley. He's one of my favorite singers. He's an amazing singer. And he's playing guitar at the same time. That's another thing people understand. It's like a totally different thing when you're singing alone and you're playing guitar and doing all the stuff he does, like the splits. And he's amazing. Amazing. On his worst day, I wish I was good as him. And the songs that he's written, he wrote Hard Luck Woman for Peter. I mean, he's just his lyrics, he's great. And again, I love Kiss. Whatever they do, I'm going to be supportive because what they did for me, they inspired me to do what I wanted to do. Like it's like, hey, like, kid, what? Life's magical. I mean, I can slap on some makeup and be playing music. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And I remember asking my mom, and I was serious, like, why don't we all walk around in like makeup and be like Kiss? And she was like, look, I didn't get it. Again, I was like 4 or 5. And I've always take my hat off to Kiss. Like, thank you. Thank you, Gene, Paul, Peter, Ace. Thank you so much for making my life better and inspiring me to do what I want to do. And to this day, I love Kiss. I'll throw on Kiss. I even like their newer stuff. Like I like those last 2 albums that came out, and I support them totally. And Star Wars was again mind blowing. Oh, Star Wars. Why can't we all be like Star? And yeah, Duke Streetwalker's my favorite from Star Wars. Duke Streetwalker. Star Wars. I actually was lucky enough to see the original Star Wars. Like my parents took me and my sister and I should say, to see the original Star Wars. I can remember it because I'd heard, well, again, I was a kid. I was probably 77. I was 6. Probably in my Kiss shirt. I just wore it like every day. And I can even remember like every parking, walking to the theater, because we saw it during the day. It was like a matinee or something. It's like 2 or 3, and going in and then like getting our tickets and all the smell of popcorn, and then staring at that poster. They had like the poster. Was it this poster? Something like that. Something like, old school Star Wars poster. And then literally my mind being blown. Again, we are all like prisoners of time or when we were born. I'm sure if I was born like in the 20s, like I'd be in the ragtime, fascinating rhythm going round, bootleg whiskey all over town. You know what I mean? If I was, I get it. But for me, my little life box, I was in the 70s. That's, kids from the 80s love Teenage Ninja Turtles or whatever. But yeah, Star Wars blew my mind. And the toys, oh man, I love that. And again, it bonded us in the neighborhood because there was kids that weren't into kids, but Star Wars. So there's like groups of friends. And what did you get? Did you get I got the I got the Duke Streetwalker, whatever. And mind blowing. And then Empire Strikes Back, and just being, yeah, what? And they released figures early and all that, man. All the toys, all the everything. I'm sure they had like Star Wars radios, whatever I had, as much as I could get. The Millennium Falcon, and I was just a devotee. And I was older by the time Return of the Jedi came out. I was kind of doing my own, but hey, love Star Wars. Then later on, when I moved to LA, I was living in Hollywood. I was living on Van Ness, right across from Paramount. I had a neighbor who was just a geek for everything, like Spider-Man, Star Wars. He was cool. He and so he went. I think it was like he spent the night, like they were out on the street waiting for the tickets. And this is when it was in '98, whenever they redid those other three, with like Liam Neeson and Jar Jar Binks. So he's like, yeah, we're gonna be, go get these tickets. Somehow or another, I don't remember how it kind of, but I got a knock on the door, and it was in the morning. He's like, dude, you've been cool to me. Because I always try to help people out. I'm sure I let him borrow money and food. So he's like, hey, I got one of these extra tickets. It's at Man's Chinese on Hollywood Boulevard. You need to get up now. I was like, what now? It's a premiere. You're going to thank me. I was like, yeah, Star Wars, let's go. So I showered, ran down there, and it was madness. Like finding a parking spot. I had to park. I don't remember, like past Franklin, like nowhere near Hollywood Boulevard. And then walking there, the line, I don't know if you've been to Man Chinese, was down. So Hollywood goes up. So say if you're going north on Hollywood Boulevard, you get to Orange and Hollywood. That's where like the Roosevelt Hotel is. And there's that you can take a right there. And right now that corner, it's like Madame Tussauds. So then you go up that, I think that's still Orange. And that'll take you to like Fountain. Fountain runs behind Hollywood Boulevard. So down Hollywood Boulevard, the line, okay, up Orange, onto Fountain. Not Fountain, Franklin, all right, a long line. And I'm walking to get to the line, and I'm passing like the coolest people. Like these people have went out of their way. Multiple like realistic Darth Vaders, like with the whole lights and the, bunch of stormtroopers, Princess Leia's everywhere, everything. Like this is for real. People with food and that was the first time I'd been to Man's Chinese. Like I don't know if they have other theaters in there, but I was in the big one, like the big, huge theater. It was amazing. And again, kind of like Kiss, I love the original Star Wars, and I liked the newer stuff. I could have did without the Jar Jar Binks stuff, but hey, and it was a magical day. I got right back into that magic. Like, wow, it's not that, but hey, I'm digging this. I love this. Awesome. And I have been a fan ever since. I've seen them all, even the other three. And so when Solo came out, I used to be like a carnival barker on Hollywood Boulevard. I'll do an episode about this, but I was on the mic salesman, basically at the corner of like Hollywood and Orange, one of those stores. I was outside on the red carpet with all the Oscars. Hey, come on in. It was like one of the best and worst jobs I ever had. I mean, I only did 5-hour shifts on the microphone. It's tough, but then you could make money. I was on commission, but then again, you get beat up, I'll get into that. But I was on the microphone the night of the premiere of Solo, and they'll block off Hollywood Boulevard and fence it with concrete and have like major security. I'm talking about major. And it was amazing. I could see what they literally had like a full size at, the walking mechanical dog thing, all that. Hold on 1 second. Hey man, I'm busy. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, the at. That had more than that, but that was full size hat. And that night, I was on the microphone. Come on, guys. And I'm doing my thing. Like I try to make it funny. Hey, where you from? All right. Woo. And I see these guys two guys like standing behind me, eyeing me, kind of like, just critiquing it. But they had these laminates of like they'd been to the premiere. So they come up and I'm like, hey, no. And they're like, yeah, we're at the premiere. It was so funny what they said. I'll just say what they said. Your voice is delicious. Oh my God, why aren't you doing voiceover work? And I was like, hey, I'm in the Screen Actors Guild. How do you do? I mean, I've been trying to crack that nut for decades. Like voiceover is really, honestly, from what I've dealt with and what I've heard, it's harder than acting. Like we're like, well, no, they said we are like head of the animation, Star Wars animation, and we need voiceover actors and stuff. You'd be perfect. And I was like, yeah, hook me up. So they gave me a card. They're like, look, don't call for it. We're doing all this stuff. I gave them my info, and I waited a week, and I left. Hey, I left a never heard. That happens a lot. Like, oh my God, your voice is delicious. We need you. And then you never hear from the guys. But hey, and I like Solo. I mean, it wasn't the best, I like even the newer ones. I mean, there's something to, I can't dog on them. And then a personal note is I got to meet Carrie Fisher. I actually got to hang out with her a few times in like 2000. It's strange how I'd run into her. But and not like her and I just hanging out. There was, I'm at this place and there's people and she's got handlers and stuff. But she was totally cool to me, and she very cool, very hip. Called me Handsome Charlie. Handsome Charlie. Like, hey, right? And but one time I actually got to sit right beside her, and we, this little get together. But yeah, I take my hat off to Star Wars, Kiss. I'll always keep that kind of magic within me. And I always remember how I felt. I was like, oh my goodness. And I'm just grateful. And I'm honest enough and humble enough to realize that is what kind of sparked my imagination. Kiss and Star Wars. Again, I'm trapped in that time box. I'm sure if I was back, I'd be whatever. Like every decade, there's a different, and that's not to say some people, again, if I was in the 20s, I'd be in the ragtime. And I feel fortunate that I had those experiences. To me, in my mind, the 70s were growing up. It was amazing. Big wheels and green machines and Kiss and Star Wars and this, that, and the other thing. Love it, love it, love it. So I hope you enjoyed me ranting like a madman. And also, if you want to support the channel, in the description, the Zelle, you can do the Zelle, and just like, share, and subscribe. Again, I'm going to be doing this every day, sometimes multiple times a day. because we're going to be doing other things. I'm going to be doing live streaming, live reactions. I'm going to have guests, all that stuff. And I apologize for how bad it looks now. I'm in this apartment. It's been raining where I moved. I moved to Illinois, and it's just gloomy here. The weather, it's been like 6 days where no sun, raining. It's May. What is going on? And I still live here. I don't remember it being, maybe it's global warming or something. I just don't remember it being this dismal. But yeah, the episodes will not be like, it looks like it's 9 in the morning, and I got a light right in front of my face, and I'm going to get better equipment. So it will get better, and I'll be out and about too. But I just thought, you know what? I got to start this, get the podcast going, up and running. So again, if you want to support the channel, please go to Zelle. Go in the description, Zelle. You know how to do it. You know how to do that. And then like, share, and subscribe. Again, I love you guys. Hope everybody's being blessed. Have a great weekend, and see you tomorrow. Cheers.